Alright, let's get this show started. Sorry, got a cough all of a sudden. It happens. You just try to talk and then all of a sudden your lungs are like, I gotta fucking exhale forcefully. And like, oh shit. So yeah. We are gonna fucking research shit, I guess. Oof, I don't fucking know. So I already did a USA playthrough, not an actual USA playthrough. I've done the spiritual realm over here. This time we're gonna go with wholesome. And by wholesome I mean actually the better leader of the acceleration. This it's not completely batshit insane and won't cause America to immediately collapse on itself. Hopefully. Anyway, let's do Twilight's Last Gleaming. President Millen's term reaches in. Before we can begin re-election, we take a good look at the general state of the country and see what needs a quick fix to gain easy votes. And now let's confirm the greatest voter based on the economy, dedicated agrarian situation, and the rise of lawlessness. We could probably patch these last things out to gain a confidence for another 4 years. Maybe.
Listen up!
Wait, get troops going. I'll get some troops going over there.
Ready, sir. Yes, sir. All in.
So here, Alaska.
Attention.
Over there.
Orders. Commands.
Yeah, a bunch of these
Ready to
guys.
move.
I wouldn't give a shit.
Ready, sir.
Because probably won't go after Japan, really.
All in. Ready. Move out.
Okay, so you guys can go over there, the rest of you. Because, if I remember correctly, we do some little bit of expansionism. We do a little expansion. Just a little bit. Let's see. Get my boy Eisenhower over here. And
Commands.
for you. And there's an Apache. Let's see if we get some mills over here. We got plenty of construction. Let's fill them up, boy. Fill all that shit. A lot of fucking ships. Production. Let me. There's some light tanks. Oh, you do. There's a carrier cast. I don't know what that right now. And no bomb identification. Basic infantry here in Kansas. Like a grand place. Let's get this shindig started. So yeah, as you can see, we have fuck all. There's some good depots here and there. Yeah, I got clan, civil war, from the government, prohibition. Basically the banning of alcohol. We have to repeal or enforce it. Less crime, the past military, the Great Depression, and the Dust Bowl. Yeah, we are rather. I do quite well. So over here, you can see all the whole prohibition stuff over here. Probably just gonna remove prohibition either way, rather than reinforce it. Because I don't see why we really fucking need to enforce it. Let's do some consumer goods just in case. Control territory. Oh yeah, I gotta have that mod installed because the other core mod doesn't fucking work.
Ready to move.
He's just gonna check it doesn't really work. Fucking should be going. Guess we can go 5 speed for now. See what else we can fucking spend. Not really spend, but more like what else we can fucking zoom on through. In the meantime, government. Son of workhorse. Gives up some more pee-pee. The bigger the pee-pee, the bigger our wee-wee. I'm such a fucking child sometimes, I swear to God. Let's see over here. Authoritarian. Just over to this. Yeah, they're gonna be changing this a little. Accelerationist. There was any hope for Sandy in Madagascar. Cedar. And then look at that, because we won't really be doing much. No, examine the economic situation. The President rallying banners has always been low intervention in the economy and securing the economic future Americans have forever enjoyed. However, before we can call our time a victory, we should probably see the balance of our policies, and I said, what could be changed in the future, even right away? We will reconsider commissions and bring up accurate reports of our general economic state. Indeed. That man, the sleeping giant. It is 1936, and as the United States of America comes down from the Memorial New Year's Eve celebration, New Year's about little to celebrate. One need only to look around to see why. A group of staggering economic depression since 1929, the sleeping giant of the Western Hemisphere stirred lethargically. From inflation nation for volcanic unemployment and widespread bank failure to the agricultural desert, the Dust Bowl have only intensified in the face of continued government inaction. President Andrew Mellon remains steadfast in his conviction that the liquidation of much of the economy will produce an overall more competent entrepreneurial spirit. This was a very optimistic viewpoint in 1932, with enough believers to put him in office over the vital opposition. They committed the catastrophic wave of new bank failures brought about by a tow and cold track of putting their country's debts over 2 years. Now it seems outright foolhardy to such a nation. Mellonville, shantytowns formed by the dispossessed, continue blooming across the country. Local police have to employ people in public works falter due to failing tax revenue. And overstretched charities and soup kitchens have made do with less for too long. Millions roam the U.S. chasing all the work they can find from businesses increasingly parallel about us in a chaotic world. It remains to be seen how, if at all, America will escape this crisis. Given the presidential election approaching, at least some change appears to be on the horizon. It will likely be a dramatic one. Opposite the governing republics, the aftermath of collapse of the Democratic Party alone, a few number of ideologically distinct candidates. The technocracy continue to experiment in scientifically mental study. Not only won the American inspiration for the French model, it bold working moves such as the Jobless Progressive Party have likewise never been more popular. All in the back room, the offices of the Republican Party itself, party brass a bit stabbing the president back to put anybody else in the driver's seat to steer in the victory. Will the political establishment salvage its legitimacy with the 1936 heralded an epochal shift in American way? And World War V6 hours came right at last slouches towards Washington. So yeah, the state of America, as of now, not exactly grand, to say the least. But don't worry, we shall bring ourselves from such terrible state, because holy fuck. Oh, we so goddamn bad right now, goddamn. Let's see here. Get some more pee-pee. As much pee-pee as we can. Mechanical engineering, computing. There's a beep. Hold on 1 single minute. So I had to check on something real quick. So, get back into the swing of things. Yeah. Basically, it's gonna be zooming through them focuses. till the elections come up. Anyways, as to the agricultural situation, the laws commissioned by the Department of Agriculture are quite worrying to say the least. Worse we could have expected. Many farmers in Kansas and Colorado immigrating to the West Coast fleeing the famine that plagues the High Plains because terrible droughts have been affecting the crops. Furthermore, the absolutely Dante-esque dust storms have been almost impossible to inhabit, particularly by clouds of darkness. Now paralysis. So what's next in the itinerary? I'll read this. It's not interesting. Interesting, man. But you guys can read it. It's like the split second that I was there. Yeah, but I won't read all of the events they're starting off with because we're not going that. Because we are gonna go down the technic path. We will focus more on that.
Ready to move.
Let's see. How's the equipment situation doing? We need fuck tons more, alright. I should give you fuck tons more. The HIPAA war. Alright, today. This is a funny one. Alright, today Congress voted unanimously in favor of President Mellon's propositions to deploy the National Guard to cull the wide population of hippopotamus that ravaging Louisiana. 14 hippos brought to the United States over 25 years ago, as thanks to a proposal by senior scout Frederick R. Burnham, who sold to Congress the frontier idea of reaching for Lake Bacon. It was an idea that has just three major faults. The first, it promised surprisingly high birth rates. The second, there is no national president. And third, there are 3,350 pounds. Highly territorial and easily provoked hippopotamuses. There are now well over 250 hippos in Louisiana that have decimated local ecosystem and wildlife communities. Private attempts have been ineffective, such as the campaign to kill White Charlie, the exception to the large albino bill that police are popularly the answer to Huey Long. Yes. That's how Long dies. It's basically a reference to Kaiser Reich, Huey Long. Yeah, simple. He don't live. He got fucked by a hippo. Amazing. In ways there's no surprise considering the terrible impact these beasts have made. The Congress is so keen to take action and hope that this hippo will prevent further tragedies from occurring in the future United States. Look, boys. Yeah, and this, you don't know, the hippo war is a reference to the emu war that occurred here in Australia. And then the Aussies. Oh, in this case, Australia and Westralia. I'm curious to see how these two are going to interact whenever they get content. There's a compromise. What's going to happen? Pretty machines. Cultivate industry. Could change that so we'll break down. Will be anything left in the Empire, who knows? I like how it glows and changes it, but can't, and that's fucking weird. Let's see, let's get you, my boy. We're in sector. Doing mighty fine. Oh yeah, that's happening. I'm trying to please you guys can read this because I'm not. The rising sun seems to be reaching dusk over Indochina. Indeed. Agricultural situation. Industrial collapse. Spread best ever invading thus restricted via 4 months of policy and no taxes. Many American factories have been forced to close down. Only American governments like Ford in the Midwest or a handful of others have managed to keep afloat, but now the market is oversaturated with a colossal jobless workforce that have no size for at least a couple of years. Which can and probably will turn ugly. We shall read about these. See the Dust Bowl. The Dust Bowl is the whole of the country's heart, the cause of so much internal refuge of migration for work. We know the story by now. Over-cultivation of the land left the American heartland vulnerable to soil erosion and depletion. And when the drought struck at the beginning of our present crisis, everything went haywire at once. So much land is now effectively unfit for farming and much matters worse. And make matters worse, strong wind with clouds of topsoil, the horrifying black blizzard dust storms. Global and widespread fire dispossessed farmers from the heart of the country to the United States. especially California. While the currently can launch circuit center, no safe haven really has the resources to house and take care of these people. Out of the city concern themselves with the glut of labor arriving just too proud to work for what's available. The question was posed after the country's spanning Black Sunday dust storm last year. Did the situation improve? The damage remains severe in parts of Oklahoma, Nebraska, Colorado, Kansas, Texas, and New Mexico. The answer is a resounding no. Managing the impact on food production, the outflow of population from the region has resulted in a bloodline economy since. Within luck, however, some enterprise professionals will be able to pick up the pieces from failed farmers in the near future. Question reports after the country spent by these. This repeats the same thing. No, that lasts forever. Moving on. Yep. So yeah, situation's pretty damn shit. Great Depression. Missionary Japan's gonna win that. This one looks of it. Radios. And we get on with cars. Mastery Revolt. You guys can read this. Arrest of the rich colony. That's hardly news. Let's see. Something else here. What you doing? Conquer. Yeah, no portrait. I think some people got changed portraits. Fifth Revolution. It's about 7 more. Let's get run. Alright. What we need. Your boy. Francisco Svediniti. Femizza to Russia. Thoughts and prayers. Alright. Radicalism and lawlessness. New workers have been laid off and the jobs of factories are begun to turn the petty crime many years ago. Now the situation completely out of control. The plains immigrants of the West Coast and the Midwest found themselves in this situation, coupled with the rise of political radicalism, has been a recipe for disaster. Gunslinger patrol in trying neighborhoods in the name of organized crime. Some reports even go far as this many political parties have begun forming their own armed wings in secret. If we cannot fix this immediately, it will prove to be our undoing. What do we still carry? Mr. President, the Secretary of Treasury has received industrial poverty commission over the past 7 years. Industrial capacity nationwide contracted by 60% rising as high as 80% Eastern Ohio and Northern Illinois. So this can only be classified as simple depression. This is the goddamn fall of Rome. Hell yeah, brother. So we need to act immediately. Something must be done to rescue these areas economically. These high-skilled, productive, high-paying jobs can't just be replaced by agricultural work, especially with the situation in the interior. Parts of the country are going to have to their standard of living regress 50 years if you don't step in. Please, sir, just do something. I hear you, but you cannot risk worse by reckless intervention. Oh, we're just gonna pull over and do fuck all. I'm planning on that. See, nothing there. That's some interesting stuff. Let's see. America ain't exactly doing that great. It's pretty shit right now. Let's see, Peter Merz elected Danish Prime Minister. Well, free Denmark. That's stuff over here. They got like some skeleton content, as they said. I'm curious to see how Denmark's gonna be. After a survived suicide attempt. In the news, short story author Robert E. Howard survived suicide attempt today. Religion continues for across places about distant power. It's believed to be connected with the death of Mother Hester Jean even Howard. Given the reason for his action, he is for Howard to make a full copy. Watch out, I hope he gets it better. It's more of a sub-mod I have installed actually. I need to double check what mod I have installed. I keep forgetting. Ismail incense. Long-awaited English language version of Ismail incense, original French style. Ismail say. The French-made so-called baguette Westerners finally reached the U.S. Rapid action, sexual themes, and a disturbing level of violence have made the genre quite popular among the public, despite public outcry. Both moral guardians and the political left calling for the banning. Movies' departure of sorts for the genre has instead the classical Wild West series featured near-future lawless wasteland tie by futuristic cowboys, rare automobiles instead of horses. But the change of setting doesn't seem to alienate the audience. The cinema owners are claiming record sales. I love the movie. For our boys in France. The Megan Westerns. I think we're a real thing actually. Alcoholism and lawlessness. I see. Oh. Indeed. Boiling America. No tons of reports have said the grass America is facing instant instability as a result of the economic situation. While you only look at the news to see that communist acceleration, this and rural militancy are driving major political parties in this year's coming election. That between labor organizers and private security appear on the foot over the past few years, not to mention the difference between party supporters, paramilitaries perhaps. Picture of various federal agencies are giving is uncomfortably muddled. The much of our information to be sourced from the press. There's a risk that public discontent with the government could pull over into attempted revolt against us, and the public stuff, if what we knew is correct. Petty crime too has skyrocketed, while some of the more notorious criminals have appeared, bank robbers, bootleggers, murderers, have been apprehended by a bureau investigation. There still remains others who have no source of tracking down. The son disappeared, a quasi-celebrity bank robber John Dillinger after running with BOI 18 years ago, provided unsatisfying end to that public honesty needs to say. It is likely that the structure of federal law enforcement needs some streamlining in the future, given that these failings, however, one warrants the U.S. government should turn to innovative private security companies such as Pinkertons to restore orders in cases. This prosperity returns. So too will come. Moving on. We shall see just how bad things really are. And trust me. We could make it worse by getting the job as progressive and having Elizabeth Gilly Flynn, BVP. Have you seen my spiritual realm of America playthrough? That's what's going on. Syria doing the same thing. President Civil War. There's nothing sacred. And we got Nina over here. What you're gonna be doing? Probably gonna get yourself into a 3-phone because of course you fucking will. Because you know why not do the smart thing, just not do anything. They do an incredibly dumb thing and just get yourself into a moral, just like up a goddamn hat. Oop.
Attention!
Accidentally deploy that boy. Yeah, my bad. So let's see. Yeah. Okay, logistics. Motorized actually. We don't. Yeah, some maximize our uses for that. I see. Let it be firm hand. Not to worry, we can still salvage this. We must act quickly and press swift into social release before it gets out of hand, or worse, before others do. Finding solution to all these problems might not be hard, but actually following through will be a challenge. If it wasn't already. Bit of oil. Good shit he's fought too. It appears that, predictably, the hopes to open up more trade with the Commonwealth have been dashed, not for lack of trying, of course. And the independent plans fall apart quickly due to internal and external opposition. Permanently, Congress had a field day with our efforts. The field of British manufacturing and resource extraction competing with already strained American companies proves protectionism is still alive and well. The jobless Progressive Party are ripe with denunciation of we have urban workers, while the American Party was equally furious with about the potential impact of American farmers. The Senate, after some deliberation, issued a unanimous condemnation on the basis of us allegedly having all America need to prosper in their own hemisphere, and then, of course, President Bell's own connection to the local corporations, especially given how we benefit from a planned trade with Canada, was scrutinized by the president in some capacity in every party. The reluctance was echoed by our counterparts in Britain, with the Commonwealth also being protective of its market in some corners, where about foreign influence chipping away at the imperial loyalty. Offers were rapidly rebuffed. Furthermore, as our governments have fallen into extremism in the past years, or in the case of India, imploded entirely, the desire to avoid relying too much on foreign trade growing stronger by the second. It seems the total effect of our initiative have been mostly the embarrassment to the government. Damn it, now I'm actually mad. Actually mad. It was an overseas general government doing the general government things. Some cool war. Buried this apart. No mercy to all who threaten the stability of Mother Russia. Let's see, Supreme General Government. Yakutia. So, yeah. Oh, Gorgolov. Where's City again? God damn. Yeah, well, they volunteer.
Ready.
We'll have the volunteer. Blood on the streets. This morning, groups discovered shocked Detroit, Michigan, as author and North Clan associate Ernest Sylvia Cox was found dead in the hotel where he was staying during his latest book tour. An unknown attacker broke into his room during the night and viciously assaulted him with a baseball bat, inflicting injuries to his head so severe that positive body identification can only be achieved through body measurements. The motive and identity of the attacker are unclear, but mysteriously, as this called by a mate who found his corpse in the morning at the nightstand lied a Mickey Black Mike Kosher baseball card. When asked for any possible lead, owner of the hotel said, if I was a guessing, it was probably one of those damn Negroes who was hanging around with riddance. And these cuts were deeply involved with Marcus Garmy at the Black Star Alliance, served as a mediator between them and the clan. Garmy himself was calling him a good friend, claiming that this white man would have done wonderfully well for the Negro and should not be forgotten. That made enough books from him. Ah, yes. If I remember correctly, Marcus Garvey's and the clan worked together to immigrate Africans to Liberia, if I remember correctly. I think that's what happened. I don't quite remember. It's been a bit since I checked them on that. So things are bound to be a wee bit out of touch. Let's see over there. Some of this stuff. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Mystery deepens. Police checking out Detroit apartments owned by baseball star Mickey Coltrane. Given his loose association with the murder of Ernest Cox, was up for surprise. What was supposed to be a routine take spot out of control by safety. At 8 local time, 2 police officers were at the house and knocked the door. They were answered by gunfire from inside the house, inaccurate and frantic, but nonetheless surprised. Surprisingly, attacked police forced policemen into a standoff after nearly 4 hours and for backup. Sure agreed to be apprehended ready. He too had been none other than Mickey Coachman, in which would appear to be a mental breakdown, covering numerous bruises. He's now in a police custody. Every good American should take home defense seriously. Indeed. With that, I'm going to be on the episode. So we had just about time up. Actually, we're just going to be doing quite a bit of build-up. Lots of build-up until we get the elections happen. Which may happen next episode, probably. Or at the very least within 2 episodes. Because then that's when interesting shit is going to happen, so yeah. Till then, I'm in the Meadows, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.